Well, hello, Ferric. How are
Hi,
you?
Silver.
Hello.
I'm doing well. I was thinking about this before we got on. I was like, I don't remember the last time outside of like a work interview. I don't, I think the last time I had an interview with anybody was when I was like 8. So
Yeah.
this is a little nerve-wracking for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Well, tell me what it is you're doing. What is it in front of me right now?
So this is the core to a paracord vortex bracelet.
Okay.
And I am doing a commission for my dad because he wanted a awareness bracelet for one of our church friends. An old church friend of ours got diagnosed with uterine cancer.
Oh no.
So I am making an awareness bracelet for uterine cancer today.
Awesome. So I guess we can start getting into the questions then. Are you ready?
Yep.
First question is, why did you accept the invite?
I thought it was a neat idea. I was like, I don't fancy myself an interesting person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind talking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Most people can't get me to shut up.
Nice.
So if someone else can benefit from that, then why not?
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
So I occupationally I take care of my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've taken care of my grandmother for a little over 3 years in total. I did have about a year break
Mm-hmm.
during that, but
Okay.
about 3 years in total. And then on top of that, I have 3 cats and a dog that I take care of.
Okay. Are they all yours or do they belong to other
Well,
people?
okay, there's another part of that question.
Okay.
Um, the 3 cats are mine, the dog is grandma's.
Okay.
But I'm also taking care of my ex-roommate's dog and my girlfriend's 2 cats,
Mm, a lot of
while they
animals.
are while they are on spring break.
Okay.
5 cats, 2 dogs, and grandma to take care of this week,
Mm-hmm.
as well as about 7 stray cats that I feed every day.
Nice. That's a lot of
So
animals.
yeah, I also do about 97 hobbies.
Okay.
Paracord being just one of them.
What
Um,
are some of the other hobbies?
so I have tried my hand at needle felting. I have tried
Mm-hmm.
my hand at alcohol marker art. I
Mm,
do leather work on
mm-hmm.
the regular now.
Oh, nice.
This is one of my leather pieces,
Oh, that's really cool.
just a little worry stone
I
um,
love that. That's awesome.
that I made a couple years ago. Okay. I knit. I have a knitting group that I go with to a local cider, like hard cider bar.
Oh, that's really cool.
Um, every Tuesday we go hang out at a bar and knit. We have our little knit night.
That sounds so great. I love that.
Uh, they have been my lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they're they're my confidants. If I'm having a stressful day, I know I can talk to them about it,
Mm-hmm.
and they will give me good advice.
That's
If I've
wonderful.
read if I've read a good book recently, I know I can talk to someone about it.
Yeah, someone will be interested.
Books. I love books. I've read 37 books so far this year.
Nice. That's a lot of books. Nicely
Um,
done.
all all audiobooks, but
Still,
still.
you put the time into it.
Um, Last year for while grandma was in the nursing home, I went and sold furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And selling furniture is a lot of waiting on customers to come in.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't allow physical books.
Hmm.
So I listened to audiobooks and paced. I
Okay.
I did about 26,000 steps a day and listened to an audiobook for about 5 hours.
Wow.
And that was what I did at my job. I got paid. I got paid to do that.
That sounds great.
Uh, that was nice.
Yeah. The next question is, why do you do what you do?
So let's start with grandma.
Mhm.
Um, to put it kind of simply, I was doing nothing with my life
Okay.
for a long time. I'd failed out of college
Mhm.
on multiple attempts,
Mm.
and figured out that that wasn't for me.
Mm.
I am looking at going to a Votech uh,
Remind me what
sooner or
that
later.
is?
A Votech is a vocational school.
I have no idea what that
Um,
is.
so instead of going to college and
Uh-huh.
spending 4 years at a college, you spend like a year and a half taking trade school classes.
Oh,
So
okay.
like learning to be an electrician or a mechanic or a
Plumber.
welder. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Uh,
All right.
s- so I'm going to go to a Votech to be an LPN,
Okay, remind me what that is.
a licensed practical nurse.
Oh, okay.
So instead of doing the 4 year nursing program, I'm doing a 1.5, or sorry, 1 year
Mhm.
um, shortened nursing program. I can't do as much as RNs or registered
Mhm.
nurses,
Yeah.
but I can still do quite a bit. And
Enough
it's already
that
kind of something that I do with grandma. Like I
yeah.
take her blood pressure, I take,
Mhm.
I love animals. So
Mhm.
moving on with your question.
Okay.
So obvious, I take care of my strays. I take care of multiple animals.
Mhm.
Um, my partner is in her third year of veterinarian school.
Okay. So
She is
getting
getting
there.
it.
That's awesome.
And then hobby wise, I do hobbies because that's how I stay sane.
Yeah. Like staying
So
with all the responsibilities that you have or because of
yeah,
something else?
a little bit of both. So
Yeah.
I can't focus to save my life.
Okay.
Um, and I'm constantly switching hobbies and what I'm working on,
Mhm.
just continually.
Mhm.
So that's why I have many, many hobbies, but also because I had to deal with lockdown while taking
Mhm.
care of my grandmother,
Oh, yeah, that must have
my
been
my
terrible.
my 80-plus-year-old grandmother. As a majorly extroverted person, I
Uh-huh.
love people. So
Oh.
being stuck in the house
Mhm.
for over 6 months, doing the same thing day in and day out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
I picked up all sorts of hobbies.
I bet. I'm really sorry. But
Oh,
also, I'm
it's
glad
fine. Yeah.
you were able to find something. What is your most favorite thing that you've made?
So one of my things that I love to show off, I don't know if
Mhm.
it's my favorite, but I love showing it off, is
Sure.
this stocking cap.
Ooh.
Thanks.
Radiant's really
I
cool.
did nothing special. To anyone that knows what knitting is, this is just a
Mhm.
knit one, purl one, ribbing, and then stockinette in the round.
Mhm.
It was so easy, but it's so pretty that
Yeah.
I love showing it off. Like I didn't even change yarn. This is all the same yarn,
Wow.
same skein of yarn. So like this is
Nice.
probably the thing that I show off the most.
Yeah. So the next one is why do you make things? And we kind of already explored that it's been beneficial to your mental health and
Yes.
well-being, and it really helped you during the pandemic. The next question is why do you really make things? Is there any deeper meaning that you think there is that you would want to share?
So yes. Do you know what the love languages are?
Yes. Mhm.
So my love language is gift giving. Being able to make something customized to that person is so invigorating to me.
Yeah.
I just adore it. I love being able to hand somebody something that I know they're going to use and I know
Mhm.
it's going to make them happy. And that's one of the big reasons why I make things and why I spend time learning how to do different crafts.
Mm. Who is someone that you like and just think is cool? Who do you enjoy?
I would be remiss to not mention my partner.
Mhm.
Um She is incredible, and I will say that every day until I die.
Okay.
She has this level of ambition
Mm,
and just like willing to go above and beyond for things that she enjoys and things that she loves,
mm,
that I admire. You know, she loves and adores her family.
mhm,
She works to help and better the lives of all the animals around her.
mhm,
Um, I'm gonna get a little bit personal with this one. I also admire my mother because she has been very driven in her life and has always she didn't grow up with money, and she carved out a good living situation for me and my sister.
mm,
Now, my mother and I, we have been at odds with each other for
mm,
over a decade. We just constantly bicker and fight. It's
mm.
better now. For a long time, we couldn't be in the same room together for longer than 10 minutes. And despite all of that, I still admire her for the things that she has accomplished.
What do you like about yourself?
Uh, the self-deprecating part of me really wanted to say absolutely nothing. Um,
Ah.
so something that I like about myself, something that I take a modicum of pride in,
Okay.
is being able to admit when I was wrong.
Mm, yeah, that's a very
Um,
important skill.
I make it a point, like if it's an argument, like if it's an argument or it's, well, I don't think I'm that way, and
Mm.
then I look at the evidence and I'm like, ah, shit. Um, I will go out of my way to go to the person who I was having that conversation with
Mhm,
and say, "Look, I was wrong.
mm,
I was." Even though it feels kind of shitty at the
mhm.
time,
Yeah,
like it feels. I mean, it doesn't feel good to admit you're wrong. It just
absolutely
doesn't.
not. No, it's embarrassing.
Being able to go up to somebody and say, "Hey, look, I was wrong about this."
Mhm,
It it does feel better afterwards. Not to say that that's the reason why I do it is the good feeling,
mhm.
'cause it's not. I just have a thing about honesty, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think that's a at least a decent answer to your question.
I think so too. What about yourself inspires you?
I would say my ability to go out and find a new hobby and try to learn that hobby as quickly as possible, but that's just called hyperfixation. Um, I don't know, maybe that I try to make the world a better place.
Yeah, that's pretty inspiring.
I at least make an attempt,
You try.
which is better than some. I
Eh,
wouldn't say better than most, but it's better than some.
it's better than doing nothing. All right, the next one is how do you react in uncomfortable situations?
By laughing. It kind of depends. It kind of depends on the situation.
Mhm.
Like if the if the uncomfort is because of an injustice,
Mm,
I I will say something. I
yeah.
have no qualms calling shitty people out for doing shitty things.
Mhm.
I have no reservations. Um,
When was the last time you were validated?
so to any caretakers out there,
Mhm.
um, the last time I was validated because, the situation was shitty or it was hard or, there's difficulties going on with things,
Mhm.
was actually validation from my mother, which is very rare.
Mm.
Because my mom is a nurse practitioner.
Mhm.
She's in the medical field.
Mhm.
She understands how hard being a caretaker actually is.
Mhm.
And so she just about every time she's over here, she lets me know it's like we're trying hard to give you time off to where you can go and de-stress because this sucks.
Mhm.
This is not it's not fun, being cooped up 24/7, always worried about, a fall or
Mhm.
a stroke or, having to be constantly hyper vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hard job. So to any caretakers out there, good on you. Because this shit sucks.
Yeah.
And we have like we should be able to say that because it does, and find a good support system because we need it. So yeah, the last time I was validated was either this last Tuesday or the Tuesday before.
Who are you?
Like I could list a bunch of labels. I'm a caretaker, I'm a hobbyist,
Mm-hmm.
I'm an animal lover.
But who are you as a person? Who are you to you?
I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm just me. I'm myself. I refuse to be anybody else. Not that I have a choice, but I
Mm-hmm.
refuse. Um, I am violently myself, is what I like to say.
I love that. That's a very good description.
Hell or high water, I will be myself and make it your problem if I have to.
Outside of race, gender, and career, how would you describe yourself?
Honest. I refuse to lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a part of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It was part of the reason why I have the rule on if you ask a question, be prepared for the answer.
Yeah.
Is
Mm-hmm.
because I will just answer the question,
Mm-hmm.
and have no qualms about how it makes you feel afterwards.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, I think that's as good of an answer as I'm gonna get for that one.
All right, that's fair. Next one is, what is something that scares you?
Ooh, lots of things.
Yeah.
Not living a fulfilling life.
That's scary.
Uh, living up to my personal potential,
Mm.
like however I define what my potential is, because like
Mm-hmm.
some people will be like, well, my potential is like I can become a doctorate. Well, I know I can't, um, but I know that I can do things um, in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
um, and live up to my potential that way. I have figured out recently that I do have a phobia.
Mm. Okay.
Like the textbook irrational fear of something
Okay.
phobia.
Yep.
So to give you a little bit of context, I listen to SCP
Yep.
videos and horror short stories while going
Mm-hmm.
to sleep.
Ooh.
That's just something I do.
Ooh, that's
It
interesting combo. Okay.
I I like it.
Yeah.
Um
Sometimes the
however,
narration is soothing.
yeah. However, recently I was listening to a true horror story,
Mm-hmm.
and I was fine. I was listening to the video, going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I was perfectly fine, and then I glanced at my phone, and the top comment said, "Yeah, moose are fucking scary." And once I knew what the creature was, I started getting sweats. I started feeling anxious. I couldn't go to sleep.
Oh no.
I had to change the video.
Not the meat.
It's called alcophobia. I need to do more research, like
Mm-hmm.
try to go see a moose in person and see if
Mm-hmm.
I have the same reaction.
Yeah.
Moose are terrifying.
They
They just
are.
are. To your question, I do have another fear.
Okay.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a phobia.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have one more fear that I would be remiss not to mention.
Okay.
Um, my it wasn't Alzheimer's, but my grandfather died of essentially multiple frontal lobe strokes.
Ooh, that's not good.
And over the course of like 8 years, he slowly forgot who he was.
Mm.
I have told I've told my significant other, I've told her, look, if I start forgetting who my friends are, who I am,
Mm-hmm.
who my loved ones are,
Mm-hmm.
um, take me out to the tundra and kick me out of the car. Because that's a better way to go.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, uh, one of one of my one of my bigger fears is forgetting who I am
Mm,
and who my loved ones are.
yeah.
So I have two existential fears. Not living up to my potential and forgetting who I am.
Mhm.
And then I have a fear of moose. Uh
Look, you gotta balance it out somehow. What is the hardest thing you've ever had to overcome?
judging from my fears and, losing who I am and forgetting who my friends are.
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in found family.
Mhm.
Um, I do not think that blood is thicker than water.
Okay.
I am not that kind of I'm not that kind of person.
Mhm.
Um, a couple years ago, one of my close friends who did D&D with us
Mhm.
and was a brother to me.
Mhm.
In every sense but blood was a brother to me.
Mhm.
Um, got diagnosed with testicular cancer.
Oh no.
He made it through the operation, through the surgery to remove the growth,
Mhm.
and due to complications shortly afterwards, he passed away.
Oh no.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him.
Mhm. What
Yeah.
are some things that you do to cope with that grief?
Well, I refused to stop playing D&D. Um,
Wonderful.
Wizard of the Coast made that very hard recently.
For sure,
Uh,
yes.
because they made some really dumb decisions.
Very dumb, yes.
I still, you know, all of my close friends I still keep in contact with.
Mhm.
I try to go out of my way because I am bipolar and
Mhm.
I have a bad habit of falling off the face of the earth.
Okay.
I'm sure there because it's bipolar depression,
Mhm.
and I'm sure there are other people that understand what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Um, and I try to make a point not to do that with my friends because you can lose them.
Yeah.
In terms of coping with that loss, there are still things that he wanted to do in life, such as make his own board game, make his
Mm.
own tabletop role playing game.
Mhm.
And him, it was him, myself, and another friend of ours, um, who were kind of all on board with this idea,
Mhm.
and we are still not probably not as hard as we should be working on it, but we are still working on it. We are still
Making the attempt.
trying. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is awesome. The next question is, what frustrates you the most about life?
Stupid people being stupid. Uh Particularly, and right now it's really frustrating me.
Mhm.
All of the anti-trans
Mm.
legislation that's going through
Yeah.
in a bunch of our states
That's very
is
irritating.
really pissing me off.
I'm sure.
it's it's really pissing me off.
That makes
Like
sense.
like sorry to use the S word, but they are being stupid.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, so that is very frustrating to me when
Mhm.
we have all of the tools to be a inclusive and wonderful community to other people. We have everything at our disposal
Mhm.
um to not only save the world, because we also have a climate crisis going
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we want to be shitty to each other while also ignoring the world. Um,
Yeah.
so that's very frustrating to me. Sorry if I triggered anybody, but it had to be said.
That's what you felt. And as you keep saying, expect an answer. There's your answer.
Yep. Something I'm very hopeful for with the climate crisis is
Okay.
we had a breakthrough. I know that
Yeah.
this is tertiary to the question,
No, go
um,
ahead.
but we did have a breakthrough in fusion technology,
Oh, that's right. I keep hearing about that.
and I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
Um, I know it's still way down the line in terms of when it's going to be um, publicly utilized.
hmm But it's
Um,
becoming more of an option.
yep, it's no longer fusion technology is 30 years away,
hmm
which is the running joke in the scientific community.
Uh,
Um, it's more like 10 years away.
nice.
Um, at least in my hopeful estimate.
I hope so.
Um, so yeah, that
Yeah.
so there's some good news going around.
Yeah. Sprinkled in amongst the rest.
Yep.
It's sometimes hard to see, but thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it. You ready for the next one?
Yep.
What excites you the most?
My latest hyperfixation, whatever that
Yeah.
may be.
You don't know what it is right now?
No, so right now I'm kind of between hyperfixations. The medication that I'm on for my
Mm-hmm.
bipolar depression,
Mm-hmm.
uh, kind of blunts. I call it like a drive, like finding a new topic and trying to learn as much as I can about it in the next
Mm-hmm.
12 hours.
Yeah.
I no longer
Um,
feel that, which is a little sad. The
mm-hmm.
medication is working. I am operating much better as a human being. Yeah, just medication's not for everybody, and I
Mm-hmm.
understand that. However, I am also a proponent for have that conversation with your provider.
Definitely.
Um, because medication can help a lot of things. It's not the end all be all. It's not going to work for everybody, and I understand that.
And it's
Um,
not the only solution.
yeah, it's not the only thing. I also believe that everyone needs therapy.
I
Um,
agree. Which is bad of me to say because I want to be a therapist. But I agree.
okay, so beyond hyperfixations, right now, actually having a tangible plan for the future.
Nice. Yeah.
Um, because I've never had that.
Mm.
I've never known what I wanted to do. I've never had a accessible means of doing whatever I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and being able to look at my future and say, okay, I want to grow old with this person. What do I want to do while I'm doing that? Well, I want to help others. I want to, being able to have
Mm-hmm.
the conversation of what do I want out of life
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with a tangible plan for that is what I'm excited about right now.
Yeah. That does sound exciting. So the next question here is why did you agree to the game we were playing? But we're not playing a game. We're watching you do a craft. So tell me why you wanted to do well, you already mentioned why you wanted to do this particular craft, but do you have anything to add to this concept at the moment?
Um, Anybody who ever has that person in their life that says, well, why are you wasting time doing art? Or why are you wasting time making something? Or why are you wasting time? Don't listen to them. Fuck them.
Yeah, they don't know what
Uh,
they're talking about.
I mean, I did music. I played saxophone for 10 years. And I loved it. I love
Mhm.
saxophone.
Yeah.
But because of my asthma,
Mhm.
and constantly having to take my inhaler, to anybody else who has to take inhalers, they know the shakes
Mhm.
that you get from taking albuterol.
Mm.
And for the longest time, I told other people told me, and I told myself that you can't do art.
Mm.
For the longest time, I let other people tell me that, and for a long time, I believed it. It's bullshit. Don't listen to them. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Do what you love. As long as it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
That is my only stipulation on anything in life: is make decisions. Go through with the decisions as long as those decisions aren't hurting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So don't give up on dreams. Don't give up on hobbies. Especially don't give up because someone else told you to.
What is something you're proud of?
Well, just about everything I make,
Yeah.
I take a little bit of pride in, just like with any creator.
Mm-hmm.
They take pride in what they do, or they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's just how that goes.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing I am proud of myself for right now is being able to identify that there is a problem
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and taking steps to address it. Because for a long time, I drank heavily
Mm.
for years.
Mm-hmm.
Legally, I'm not allowed to tell you how long.
Okay.
For legal reasons, I cannot tell you.
Okay.
I finally got to the point where I only had like maybe 2 beers a day.
Mm-hmm.
But with my medications,
Mm-hmm.
most medications that address depression, bipolar, any mental medications, you're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have alcohol with.
Yeah.
I mean, it did take a turning point. I made a very bad decision.
Mm.
Luckily, nothing worse occurred
Mm-hmm.
because of that bad decision. With a little bit of help, I was able to recognize, hey, this is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
I need to fix this shit.
Mm.
And I have been completely sober almost 3 months. Almost 3
Almost.
months.
Nicely done.
Now, I'm not saying that alcohol is inherently bad. I'm not.
Mm-mm.
That for some individuals, including myself,
Mm-hmm.
alcohol can be a problem. And being self-aware enough to address it is something I am proud of.
The next question is, what is your most prized possession and why?
Sorry, I'm putting myself through the situation of, if there was a house fire, what would I
Mm-hmm.
grab first?
Yeah.
I would, definitely my cats are going to be my most prized possession. I don't think I could choose. It
Yeah.
would be more like I came inside and I saw one first, so that's the first one I grabbed.
Yeah.
But let's constrain the question just a little bit and say material
Yeah.
possessions, not living.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Anything that I've made, I can make again. It's between two items in terms of physical possessions. There's a guitar that it's not the most expensive guitar out there. I mean, but it was given to me by a very close friend. So probably the guitar. Plus, it's right by the front door, so I can just grab it.
Yeah.
And then the other item that that friend that I mentioned earlier who
Mm-hmm.
passed away.
Yeah.
He gave me at the end of one of our D&D campaigns. It's the first campaign I've ever finished.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we actually had like a final
Finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of that campaign, he gave us all a dice bag. This is the dice bag. In the dice bag, I have 3 sets of dice. These two sets, the ones that look like this,
Yeah.
came from a trip that I went on in South Korea.
Ooh.
And I'll explain why these became even more important later.
Okay.
And then this one was one of the first sets of dice that my friend made.
Oh. That's
like
so
made at
cool.
home.
Yeah.
So the reason why because this was just another set of dice that was from a cool place that I visited.
Mm-hmm.
Um, however, it dawned on me after this friend died,
Mm-hmm.
after they passed away. He was actually stationed in South Korea and
Oh,
loved it there.
yeah.
So these dice kind of took on a whole new level
Yeah.
of meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a place that he enjoyed and wanted to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a place that I was able to go in and enjoy myself. So this would probably be the item that
Okay.
I would make sure to get out of a house fire.
Well, I hope you never have a house fire.
Yeah, same.
The next question is, how do you take care of yourself?
There are a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many things that I do specifically to address my mental health. I force time with my hobbies and with my people,
Mm.
my friends, my loved
Mm-hmm.
ones.
When are you the happiest?
Laughing at midnight
Mm.
with all the girls.
Mm-hmm.
At my friend's house when we play D&D.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm, with my buddies, laughing over a stupid joke.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm with my partner.
No.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah. Thank you for accepting. I hope you had fun.
I did.
So now I'm going to address the invisible audience. If you have enjoyed this interview and have listened to the extended version, then you likely will enjoy Ferric and who they are on the social internet. Where can we find you exactly?
So I am most active on Instagram under FerricFireheart _
Okay,
because FerricFireheart without the underscore was taken.
of course.
I post things that I'm working on, cat photos, and my leather work,
Mhm.
all there.
You have a commissions page, don't you?
I do and I don't. So
Okay.
I do have an Etsy page
Mm-hmm.
under Problem Paracord. However, I have neglected it.
Mm.
And I've been taking mostly local commissions. However,
Okay.
if you send me a message on Instagram, I'd be happy to, talk to anybody about commissions and anything like that. Or even if
Cool.
you just want to talk, you can just talk to me. If you're also a caretaker and you're having questions or problems or want to just vent, you are free to DM me. I'll be happy to talk about it because I get it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. You have all the links. I'll put them in the link in the stuff below. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's been lovely getting to know you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Silver. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Bye.